Lutheran Hospital is shutting down two of its life-saving services this month. Patients may now have to travel to Indianapolis or out of state to get treatment. Fox 55's Drew Fry is live to explain the reasons for this decision and why some are now pushing back. Drew?
Yeah, Tara, those services that Lutheran Health Network is shuttering includes an inpatient burn service as well as the heart transplant service. And Lutheran Health just says it's because these services just aren't being used often enough. Still, some people are pushing for those services to stay here in Fort Wayne, saying that any use of these programs, if it saves one life, should be worth it. I talked with one man about his effort to push Lutheran to keep those services here in Fort Wayne after they helped save his life. Ian Renberger says he's been cared for by Lutheran Hospital his entire life, including a 2021 trip to the ER.
On October 26th, I had felt a pop in my chest,
in which doctors found multiple holes in his heart.
Next date I remember is being told that it's November 27th, 2021.
Doctors told Renberger he'd barely survived the trip across the hospital grounds before they put him in a coma. Renberger believes if he'd been at any other Fort Wayne health clinic, he wouldn't be here today, which is why he was so surprised to learn that Lutheran is shutting down its heart transplant services.
Heaven forbid the doctors who saved my life have to leave town. I will be, for lack of a better term, heartbroken.
Representatives from Lutheran Health Network didn't respond to phone calls Monday afternoon, but in an early June statement announcing the closure of the heart transplant and inpatient burn services, they said these services are highly specialized and served less than 100 patients last year. The hospital CEO says, quote, "Our long-term strategy is focused on services that patients are using most," end quote. Patients who need transplants will now be sent to Indianapolis, Columbus, or Detroit.
I'm lucky enough that I can get a ride from my mom who's retired on these longer trips, but I know plenty of people. I know a guy who's actually ahead of me in line. Him and his wife, who I grew up with, are stressed because they generally can't afford a trip like that.
So Renberger's campaigning for Lutheran to keep these services in the Summit City.
If they're going to stick to this and don't want to help us, I'm going to keep fighting and calling and doing everything I can to fight this fight.
And Renberger says he regularly goes back to the hospital to visit those doctors who helped save his life and also talk with patients who are currently going through similar treatments. He wants to encourage anyone on the waiting list for a heart transplant to keep fighting and stay optimistic and keep going every single day. And he's hoping that they, as well as him, as he waits for a potential new heart as well, can enjoy that wait from home here in Fort Wayne. Reporting live in downtown Fort Wayne, I'm Drew Fry, Fox 55 News.